Hello and welcome to Ultimate League Season 20 Round 6 here in Scarlavale for the Scarlavale Grand Prix. It takes place in Australia, but we have another Australian race a round from now, which will be the Australian Grand Prix. We've got 3 laps of qualifying ahead of us. Nuno has had a very tiresome day. He's had to go vote in an election. He's had to go outside, live life. So he will unfortunately not be commentating today. I've decided to do like a little solo commentary for y'all. I know how much people would love that. So here we are. Got 17 drivers here today. Unfortunately, Figo was teleporting a lot during the connection check race. Could not reserve for Mayhem. So they are with just the one driver, that being El Bistione. And after the first lap, what are we getting here? It's a Charge JT provisional pole. What were you expecting? If you were expecting anything else, I am so sorry, but you have lost money because nothing else compares to that Charge JT qualifying pace, looking to continue his 100% pole streak. Look at that slow Nandy, he calls himself. He's in second right now provisionally. What a liar, what a crooked Hungarian liar he is. We've got Phantomy also provisionally third. Just the classic. Oh my god, Glow's fourth? That's fire. I hope he stays up there. That's fucking fire, actually. Anyways, across the line for the second lap. Oh my god, and we've got... Oh, Aussie up to third! Slow Nandy and Charge AT improving. In case you didn't know who that was, Spotony Matthews is Aussie. I don't know why he's driving under this nickname today. We saw him win the CL sprint. We saw him tie the feature victory between himself and F1 Fan. And we've also got debutant, where is he? Tash, I think it was. He's in 5th right now, you can see on the leaderboard. It was his AL debut, he won that. JL debut, he won that. And Charge AT does not improve. Any other improvements? F1 Fan up to 5th. We see Johnny Mason, I think, going up. And we'll see the entire grid in just a second. But first off, Charge AT, as always, who else would get pole position if it wasn't Charge AT? The answer is nobody. Continues his 100% pole streak this season. Can he continue his 100% win streak? The man 2/10 behind him in qualifying. Slow Nandy on the front row, Aussie in 3rd, Phantomy in 4th, F1 Fan up in 5th, great performance. And then we've got Tash, who, as I said, AL debut today, won that, JL debut today, won that, CL debut, and I think he finished, I don't know where in the sprint, but in the feature he did finish in 4th, and now he's qualified 6th in his UL debut. Johnny Fu behind him in 7th, Mason in 8th, Matimar in 9th, and Corvid in 10th at one of his home Grand Prix. Then we've got Batuco in 11th, El Bistione in 12th, Glow in 13th, Arbor in 14th, Fede in 15th, Albano in 16th, and Jake Brad making his return in 17th, which means we've got an entire British sandwich between JT and Jake Brad here for our starting grid. Here we go, 37 laps ahead of us, rain on 10%, which means we might see some little excitement there in that area. And it's time for the start of the race. Ooh, Tash with a stall there. I didn't see anything else, but there was a little stall from him there. It's a pretty calm start to the race. We've got a little 3 wide, 4 wide action in back. Jake's already been taken off, but everything else seems to be calm so far. Even at the lead back, looking to try and separate. Johnny's up to 6th, Matimar up to 7th, Corvid up to 8th, crucially. And they have, I think one of them made a mistake, Matty or Johnny, I'm not sure who. And now the lead pack of 5 drivers has really separated here. And I think Nandi and Phantomy will be looking to make a move on Charge AT. Phantomy round the outside. JT leaves him space very nicely. Does have the better momentum compared to Tommy though. And stays in lead. And they are separating now for... Oh! I don't know what happened there. Did Phantomy hit the back of him? Or was he on his inside on his screen? Because that looked like it came out of nowhere. Phantomy and Nandi will not be happy with that. They've been trying all season long so far to dethrone the King of Yore to thee this season, and they are locking in to try and chase him down again. Before the race today, Charge AT did say the left trigger on his usual controller got broken, so he has to use an old one with a large dead zone. If anyone knows what that means in terms of controllers, because I don't really use them, then yeah, that's a big thing, I guess. Phantomy is already back on his ass. Amazing stuff from Phantomy to get back at the slipstream, looking down the inside on him. And now around the outside, Charge AT, Phantomy keeping it clean, but Phantomy bringing the heat this race and takes the lead of the race. Ooh, I don't know, maybe a bit too tight for Charge AT there. VZS is left and Charge AT on the slip, and it's tied between them for the lead at the finish line there. Phantomy cuts a bit of grass there. Nandy and Aussie have now caught back up to this lead pack, and I think they've lost Charge AT's slip a bit there. Might be able to regain it here at the slow section. Not sure. Let's look down the field. F1 Fan still in 5th, and Matimar and Johnny Fu behind them. Corvid with respectful 8th position in his first home race in a row, and then we've got Arbor just murdering people back there. That's great to see. Behind them, Ilbishjone, who has not been a victim yet of his butchery. We've got Mason, Tash, Albano, Fede. Oh, Albano nearly took Fede into the grass. Great job on him keeping it clean, though. Batuco's into the pits after 4 laps. Onto the hard tyres. Fede, the only one that didn't start on soft tyres. He started on hard tyres, which might give him some benefit over all those soft runners around him. Phantomy and JT are still fighting for this race lead here, and meanwhile Hnandi and Aussie are fighting with each other. Hnandi now using this opportunity to try and fight Charge AT to help his teammate keep the lead. Phantomy's in, Aussie's in, F1 Fan, Matimar off the soft tires after 5 laps, Johnny Fu as well. And I've heard, and I remember this, I've heard from Charge AT that he will not be utilizing his usual undercut strategy. He's been undercutting all of the practice races. He said he's opting for an overcut strategy that his opponents will not be expecting him, and I think him and Hnandi have had the same idea here, but I wonder if that might be a good thing for Phantomy. I guess it depends on which one of them struggles more with the fight. But Phantomy's up in 5th, and you see Aussie in 7th, far away from Phantomy. Phantomy, as though with his traffic better, I think. He was ahead of Aussie already, and Aussie, meanwhile, has been stuck, of course, in that traffic with Arbor, El Bishone, Arbor, Tash, and Glow, Albano, all into the pits now. Charge AT still staying out, so that's what you call an overcut, I guess, because Nandi has pitted now onto his hard tires, and he is not too far behind Phantomy, but he's not within slipstream. Corvid has also opted for 7 laps on the softs, and this is very interesting difference in strategy that we're seeing here. Of course, those two will be having better tires for basically the rest of the race now, but the thing is, how much time have they lost for this strategy is the main important question. And JT comes out, and Phantomy's into the lead, and Nandy's into 2nd, and Aussie and F1 Fan are right on the tail of Charge JT. So that's something you'll have to watch out for. He needs to get all the way back up now. But I think Tommy and Nandy, pressure getting to them a little bit. I've seen a few grass touches here and there. JT down the inside on Nandy. Nandy doesn't fight it. He knows there's no point. JT's got the slightly better tires, and he's got the definitely better pace. Looking to chase down Tommy now. Not sure what the LSA team's strategy here is. Would they like a 1-2? Would they like to prioritize just a race victory? Because I feel like the latter. I feel like you'd want to see Nandy fighting JT for that position to slow him down. Of course, it might be a bit unsportsmanlike, but that's what I'd assume would be the best idea. And Nandy with a mistake, I think it was, completely drops down to Aussie and F1 Fan in this little pack for P3 that they've now got. It's just JT versus Phantomy. Look at that. Nandy drove a bit too passively there. I'm not sure. I don't think JT forced him off on the inside. Let's see what the voice chat commentators are saying, because they always have some fun stuff to say. Ricky and Guzzi are like, holy shit, Hnandi fucked up, Aussie P3, potentially. Of course, Hnandi had a very high chance of missing this race, because he was going outside with his school. I think it was like a trip or something. But because of the weather, it had been cancelled today. He's managed to race, but he has not had any practice for the last 2 days. Tommy might be going for the win here, but JT has been closing down. Let's compare the lap times. 39.45, 39.33. Not too much difference there. GT gained a 10th on that. That's not too bad. I think really quite even, but JT now in the slow section has definitely got the slipstream from that, unless 0.6 is way closer. No, definitely it's got the slipstream now, right? And I think he'll be looking for a move on Fanemy soon. I mean, he's got the better hard tires. That's why he caught Fanemy in the first place, and he'll be trying to use that to lead the race. Let's see which one of them. 39.05, 39.67. Yeah, Fanemy lost 6 tenths that lap. Of course, the little slip overtake at the end probably gained a bit, 2-3 tenths. JT did on that little slip overtake, but either way, JT with a much faster lap last lap. F1 Fan with the fastest lap of the race so far, a sub 39. And him, Hnandi, and Aussie are driving pretty calmly, just slipping each other, looking to try and fight for a podium at the end. Myanmar is trying to chase him down. He's not too far off, actually. He's cooking, I'd say. Fanemy and Charge AT fighting still for this race lead, and Fanemy, and look at that, the cleanliness is off the charts there, just leaving that space on the outside. Those two know how to drive these cars, and now Charge AT is just chilling behind. Now he's looking for that move. That's his favorite move down at that bottom corner, and once again he just pretty much peer pressures the other driver into backing out, and he dives down that inside in a very clean way, retakes the lead. Or maybe Fanemy, which is fine with him leading now, wants to get that slipstream. That could also be the case. Back to focusing on the bottom, and another one for turn 1, and Fanemy also gives Charge JT that space on the outside, just like JT did the lap before. So Matty, that is half a second slower, unfortunately, than the pack up ahead. And he has been losing a little bit of time. I think Corvid has been gaining time on Matty. He was 3 tenths faster last lap. Then we got Johnny in 8th. I don't know when he dropped down the order. Batuko is in 9th. Tash is in 10th. Ilbishone in 11th, just ahead of Arbor. Then we've got Fede, we've got Glow, we've got Jake Brad, Mason, and Albano. That's our current grid. That's our current grid order. Let's see, Matty, unfortunately, a great lap time from Hnandi, actually, faster than the two fighting for the lead at 39.75. He might be running away from Aussie and F1 Fan here. They're going to have to focus. Aussie's going to have to focus on catching back that slip of Hnandi. Don't let his nickname fool you. He is not slow at all, and we're going to have to continue comparing the lap times. Oh, Fanemy's into the pits, actually. So is Hnandi, Aussie, F1 Fan. Matimar, Corvid, and Charge AT on that overcut strategy, staying at Fanemy. Comes out behind Corvid, and this, if you had rain in this moment, that would be very influential in the race's outcome. But it is very, very sunny right now, complete sun, not a cloud in the sky. Hnandi, the only one on the track right now to come out onto the medium tires instead of the hards, and Fanemy hopefully won't be slowed down by Corvid too much here. Goes down the inside, it doesn't work out for him. I don't think he's very happy with being stuck with Corvid right now when he needs to chase down that gap to Charge AT. Tries to go around the outside here. I think Corvid is trying to let him through. Of course, with the trailers, it's very hard to do anything. Fanemy with a very risky line on turn 1, but it works out for him. Corvid's trailer is behind him, and hopefully he can now just focus on cutting down that gap to Charge AT as much as possible. But Corvid may have cost him a significant amount of time there. Every 100 counts in UL. And Manimar has dropped significantly behind that little pack. Charge AT is into the pits now. Fanemy second, chasing down. Who will come up ahead? I think JT will be overtaken. There he is. Fanemy just ahead though, so Charge AT has the advantage for sure. And now the weather marker is moving away from that perfect sunny weather, and Corvid is just under 2 seconds, or about 2 seconds behind Matimar. I think that will be another fight we'll have to see. And Fede, Batuko and Johnny Fu over here might be fine. Oh no, it's because Fede hasn't pitted yet, so it's between Johnny and Batuko realistically. If Batuko can catch the slip of Fede. Fede did try and fight Johnny there, interestingly enough. Oh, but now the tire wear is making itself known. Oh, just a bit tough there for Batuko. Around the outside, the clouds are coming in. I don't think anyone will be risking staying out just because the clouds. Anyone on worn tires, that is. Fede is in. None of them will be risking it. Like, oh, maybe the rain will come in and I will save a pit if I don't pit now off of those worn tires. Everyone else pretty much has very, very new tires. And the clouds are developing. They will not shake up the grid. They will. It's light rain. Light rain will always shake up the grid. Fanemy, correct choice there. Always do the opposite of the race leader. I'm not sure if Nandi should have done the exact same. I feel like they could have split strategies. One of them stays out in the dry. But here we go. We've got enters, and it's not a lot of the. It's because a lot of people are still picking, and it is clouds coming soon. Does that mean Charge JT has gotten himself bagged a win here, or will we still see rain come back? Remember, clouds does not guarantee the rain to disappear. It only guarantees the rain meter to slowly start moving downwards, but there's still a higher chance of rain coming, and it's sunny. Fanemy stays, Fanemy pits, Snandy and F1 fan and Aussie all stay out, still looking to make the most of the wet conditions out on the track, as Charge AT, of course, suffering a bit here. Will we see some changes in strategy? We do see Fanemy going onto the mediums, Matty onto the mediums. But yeah, no, the track is only fully dried now, so I think Nandy's little trio here made the right decision to just go for it for an extra lap. I feel like that was a better decision than pitting immediately onto the dry tires, no matter if the rain would come back or not. And now all three of them pit. Charge ET out in the distance, Nandy onto the softs, F1 fan onto the mediums, Aussie onto the mediums as well. Corvid actually up to second because of that strategy, and that has gone completely under the radar, but you see it now. Corvid up in... Oh, did he teleport? Don't teleport now. You're up in second. Just drive away. Just enjoy yourself. Okay? Just have a good connection, Corvid. Just don't be close to any other drivers, okay? Don't be caught up to by Fanemy or anything. He might get caught up to by Fanemy. Charge AT. I don't think he's even trying. He just ate that grass there. I think he's celebrating right now. F1 fan lost him. Hearing from Guzzi man. Poor F1 fan. Probably will still be 6 guaranteed. I wonder how the strategy will be looking here. I think everyone will still have to pit one more time, I feel. Anyone in the VC have an opinion about that, maybe? The will. I wasn't looking at that. One more stop. Arbor versus Albano for 16th. Arbor leaves him space. Albano makes the overtake work. Arbor down the inside now. Kinda uses Albano as a brake, but in the end it doesn't doesn't do much there. Albano slightly forces Arbor into the grass. It's overall clean. It's a bit rough, but it's clean. Corvid leading this pack. Fanemy, oh my god. What happened there? That was it was like a lockup. Like you had like if lockups existed in Euro 2D there from Fanemy, he went straight on. Had to take a lot of the runoff, but it worked to get past Corvid. And now Hnandi fighting his ass off to get past Corvid as well, or rather his trailer. And now Aussie getting past Corvid's trailer as well. And it's all madness up here in this fight for second position. JT is just driving. F1 fan has lost them. He's been keeping that gap. Charge GT 39.87. The lap time he hit, and Corvid has now lost this pack. No, I think he actually might still have slip, but appears to be as if he lost this pack. They actually did this similar lap time to Charge GT that lap. I think Corvid was 40.37, so that did not work out for him. F1 fan 39.78. I think it worked out a lot better for him. Matimar to go. It's gonna be a big shame in my opinion if that fake rain was all the rain we saw this race. I mean, imagine at the very final laps, like after some people have pitted for the final times but other haven't. Imagine if rain hits then. Charge GT with that overcut strategy clearly was the correct call for him. Very smart to, you know, then have the advantage on rain calls, especially if the rain would hit after his opponents had pitted and before he had. And now Nandi has finally pitted for his final stint. A set of hard tires is what he's put on after that soft stint. Charge GT will be pitting soon too. Yes, he will be pitting this lap. When we'll see Fanemy and Aussie now fighting for well, provisional second, I guess. Clouds coming soon. Fanemy is still pitting, so is Aussie. Corvid, F1 fan is staying out. Keep that in mind. F1 fan, he's got much fresher hards than the others. I think he's just got an alternative strategy here. Manimar has also stayed out, but his tires are pretty worn, so he'll be hoping for any rain to hit as soon as physically possible here. Charge AT, of course, he's just chilling. I don't think anything can hurt him at this point. But we see those clouds coming in. The weather marker is moving. When it will stop, we might hear a new announcement soon after that. It's sunny. It's sunny. Just a little bit of excitement there. A little bit of edging from the Euro to the gods. Let's take a look down the grid, I guess. We got Charge AT up in first. We got F1 fan in second right now. He's yet to pit for the final time. He'll be able to pit onto faster tires. The question is, where will he come out in relation to the others once he finally pits? Because he's already only got a 5-second gap to those behind him. Fanemy leading Gnadi and Aussie. And Aussie has been having a very nice underrated drive here, just slipstreaming, keeping with Gnadi, and that has helped. Oh, little server lag there, I think. But it looks like none of them have lost time, which is pretty good. JT, yeah, heads the fastest lap. Thank you, voice chat. 38.92 from JT takes the fastest lap. And clouds are coming soon once again. Will that invite F1 fan to stay out once more? Or is he planning to pit now? Is he planning to pit soon? Because those clouds will take a while, and it's no guarantee, and it might be too risky if he were to stay out, and you'll just have to wait to see. Charge AT, of course, stays out. Nothing will affect his race at this point. He hits a 39.17. F1 fan on a worn out tires, and we've not gotten any weather announcement yet, but he is staying out for another lap. He is staying out. Fanemy, Nandi, and Aussie behind them. Then we have Corvid in 6th. We've got Matty in 7th. Johnny Fu not too far behind him, but oh, look at the worn out hard tires. Johnny will have to pit once more, so that position is not guaranteed for him. We got Batuko in 9th, Glow in 10th. We've got Fede in 11th, Mason in 12th, Ilbish Johnny in 13th. Tash in 14th, and it's another song. Jake Brad in 15th, Arbor in 16th, and Albano in 17th. That is the grid at the current moment. F1 fan finally pitting, of course. That sun was announced. He's onto the soft tires. He's gonna come out behind Corvid. Will he come out in relation to Matty Mart? Definitely ahead. Johnny Fu now also pitting, also onto the soft tires. He comes out behind Batuco. So both of them, both Johnny Fu and F1 fan, have a go to try and catch a driver they were ahead of, now behind on the soft tires. Fanami, Nandi, and Aussie still, of course, in this pack. JT pitting once more onto soft tires, utilizing that gap to try and go for an even faster lap, maybe. I don't know. He's just I think he's just trying to make sure he keeps that fastest lap. Fanami, Nandi, and Aussie. Aussie going for it down the inside of Nandi. It doesn't work out. He didn't have the momentum for it. Fanami makes a mistake. Nandi through. Aussie also trying to go through. Fanami shakes him off. Nandi now into second. Fanami down the inside of his teammate, round the outside, back into second. We're going to have some very interesting fight here. Meanwhile, F1 fan trying to chase down Corvin, and we've got another Clouds coming soon, but that doesn't mean anything anymore. I've seen what makes you cheer, you rain gods. Aussie has lost the slip now, I think, but Nandi and Tommy are fighting each other a little bit there. At least Nandi was going side by side there with Tommy. Will they prioritize the team result or an individual result between them? Aussie trying to chase back down, you know, in those slow turns, especially where you can close down that gap temporarily to get the slipstream back. But I think Nandi's just fine with slipstream. Tommy, no, he's he's fine. I thought he was going to go down the inside of Tommy. He's decided not to. I think Aussie is very close to catching up with them anyways. Charge AT does improve a last lap at 38.67. It's another Clouds being announced here, and Aussie, after such a careful drive, he's now just really struggling to find that extra pace to catch back up to Nandi and Fanami up ahead and fight for that top 3. P4 would be his best result, but F1 fan has passed Corvid. He is now chasing down Aussie, and there's 2 laps to go, and Aussie, the gap ahead to the LSAs is closing rapidly. Keep an eye out on those 4 drivers, because that might be the only thing that will be changing in those final laps. Charge AT soon to start his final lap of the race. Fanami still ahead of Nandi. It's good to point out he's got better tires than Nandi here. That might be something that comes in handy on the final lap. And F1 fan, oh, I think he went wide. I think he had the grass. He was very close behind Aussie there, and now he might be struggling a bit as those softs have ran out of juice. Johnny Fu has not even caught up to Batuco. Charge AT in the middle of his final lap. Fanami hits a lot of grass on that turn 1, and Nandi is right on his back. Maybe we'll be looking for a slip overtake. F1 fan is now definitely in Aussie slipstream. Oh, what happened there? F1 fan deep in that turn onto the grass. Did Aussie not leave him enough space on the inside? Is that what happened? As Charge AT on the finish straight. 6th victory in a row this season, and I think it's the 8th or 9th victory in a row in UL. When will it stop? Fanami crossing on the finish straight now. Will Nandi look for a slipstream overtake? He will. Hook finishes ahead still. Fanami. Aussie in 4th, his best ever result. F1 fan 5th. I think it's at least his tied best result. Corvid finishes in 6th. Great result on his home race. Matty in 7th, also amazing. Batuco manages to hold off Johnny Fu. Batuco 8th, Johnny 9th, and Glow. Top 10 result for Glow here in Scarlavale. Amazing job. Fede 11th, Ilbish, Johnny 12th. Great job from those two. Mason 13th, amazing. And Tash, despite his quality, unfortunately only 14th on his UL debut, but I'm sure he will be improving on that in the future. Charge AT also with the fastest lap, just absolute, nearly even a UL Grand Slam there, but some laps Fanemy did lead, and it was that fake rain that completely decided Charge AT's victory, I'd say, because Fanemy looked like he could have brought it to him. Finally, Jake Braden's return finishes 15th, Arbor 16th, and Albano 17th. Time, I guess, for some interviews now, starting with, of course, number one himself, if he joins this voice chat. That is. Oh, I've got 6 pings. Let me just check that in the meantime. There's Charge AT.
Hello.
There you go. Maximum points, 13 seconds ahead. Helped a lot by that fake rain, despite your controller troubles before the race, and of course the overcut working perfectly for you. What were your thoughts on this race today?
I mean, at the start, I feel definitely see the inconsistency. I mean, I made quite a few mistakes. We were all making mistakes, but I think there was some stuff where people were hitting my back, and that caused them to go into the apex, and it was all chaos. But I got into the flow of it eventually, stopped making those mistakes, and it was just, I mean, the fake rain definitely helped, and I did get back in the slip. I think it would have been closer if I hadn't. Well, obviously, it would have been closer had I not got the lane call correct. I mean, very good. Yeah, I'm very happy about the maximum points. I guess I can be happy with this season now. I've pretty much done everything I wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah, you beat Figo's win streak, right, as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, congratulations on that result. Just absolutely dominant. A bit of luck, a bit of skill, and yeah. Not sure if Fanemy is ready for an interview. If you would like to give one, no. Okay, let's move on to Nandi then. P3. 2 days, last 2 days you can practice, of course. You thought there was a very high chance of you missing it because of Hungarian trains, but in the end did manage to get that podium. I was surprised, especially that you and Fanmi didn't decide to do alternate strategies for that rain call. But how was your race?
Oh my god, I think it was an incredible race. I'm just so happy that I got a podium. Like 3 hours ago, I was nowhere in pace. I was doing laps about 40 seconds. When I got home, I really had to get back into pace. I was really inconsistent, and then I qualified P2. I was really happy with that. Perfectly satisfied. I mean, who expects me to catch Joe anyways? Then start, it was all going good until at the second stint when I was just slipping Joe normally, and he was slightly slower than usual into turn 4, and I just hit his back and steered into gravel and just lost a second straight up. I really hate that turn 4, probably the worst corner of the season, of this year, even though I don't really know the calendar for the next 2 seasons, but it's a terrible corner. But yeah, after that, I was in slick with Ozzy and F1 fan. They are really fast right now. Jesus, I was not expecting to get a podium. Then of course the rain call. I just uh, thought I would do the same thing as Phantom. It just seemed logical. My tires were a bit more worn than his. Uh, so yeah, it didn't work out. It happens. And
Right.
yeah, after that, the final stint, I think we made a mistake, and Ozzy hit our back, and he went into the gravel the same way I went into the gravel against Joe, and
Oh,
it's really unfortunate that that corner just. I think Tommy also lost Joe in a similar way. I lost Joe in a similar way. That corner just, and it's not really anyone's fault, I guess. It's terrible.
well, I mean, congratulations on the podium once again, especially not having driven the last 2 days. Managed to prepare yourself for the race quite well and did a good job.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, up next we've let's see. I mean, Aussie's. Oh, he's on deaf. And Aussie, would you like to give a interview? Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Well, that's no response there. Aussie P4 best result. Good job on him. Nearly could have fought for that podium. Was in the LSA slip pack for quite a while. I guess there's no F1 fan in the VC. So up next, Corvid home favorite P6. Your thoughts on it?
Well, a bit interesting. I like straight up. I haven't driven this track in so many days. I just raw dogged it. No practice today. Just went straight into quali, and it showed. I started pretty low down there. I was really freaked out at the start because like you like in a track like that where you get a really tight first corner and you're starting right in the middle of the pack. It can go wrong. Thankfully, it didn't to some extent. I was able to get some slip at the start and benefited a lot from the fake rain call, but obviously wasn't able to hold on because of the tyre wear at that point. But I'm overall happy with 6th, but I'll be trying to make sure we do a lot better in the next 4 races. I'm looking forward to next week as well, obviously being another race at home. And yeah, just keen to get stuck in and actually practicing a bit more.
Alright, thank you. And up next, I guess we've got what everyone has been waiting for, or maybe dreading, Matimar. Care to give your thoughts on the race?
Yeah, it was a horrible race from my side. Really huge wasted opportunity. The start went smoothly. That's fortunately my strong side. I always was pretty okay at starts. But on the other hand, I'm doing horrible in quali, which I showcased today. I could have easily beat P6, but all my laps were just straight up horrible. At the beginning, I was leading a pack consisting of Yoni, Bituko, and the others. Fortunately for me, I managed to lose them. Then I called the F1 fan who lost the slipstream of the top pack, and I slipstreamed him for a while. Both me and F1 fan did an undercut then, after which I unfortunately lost his slipstream due to Fede fighting me on 8 laps all the tires for like half a lap, which caused me to lose 2 seconds. And because even though I did like 600 laps at this track, my pace wasn't phenomenal. I didn't manage to catch them, unfortunately. Although I was on pace for quite some time when Hnandi, who Ozzy and F1 fan managed to catch, sped up. I was just nowhere near that pace, and I was losing out. I feel like my mental side could have also given up a bit, which was really bad thing from me. I also really need to work on that. Corvette was catching up to me slowly. I think we could have had a nice battle if it wasn't for the rain call he made, which had put him miles in front of me. I unfortunately wasn't able to catch him afterwards, even though I think I made his advantage to me a bit lower. Yeah, the rain call was a horrible mistake by me once again. It's out of 4 rains that happened this season, I have made the wrong call in every single one of them. So it's just really kind of demolishing to my psychic side. And yeah, also kind of really sad for me, which just having no luck with that really screwed up my races sometimes. And then it was a pretty boring race. I had a small chance of catching up to F1 Fan because he did an overcut, but I didn't manage to because he was just too fast. And unfortunately exited like 2 seconds in front of me on soft, so I knew that this was a lost cause. So yeah, kind of the second half of this race was just fighting with nothing. It was a pretty boring second half of the race. I was in the VC with Ozzy, cheering him up, trying to motivate him to go after Hnandi and Phantomy. Unfortunately, he lost the slipstream, but P4 is great for him again. Congratulations to F1 Fan, whose this was probably the best race of his career. I'll try not to lose to you so easily next week. I can promise you that, because I'll try
Yeah.
to practice more. Bituko had a pretty good race also. He made a comeback from P17 to P8, so that's the thing I'm pretty satisfied about. It doesn't give us much in the Constructors' Championship because Aussie finished 4th and all the FLFs finished before us thanks to Corvette's rain call. So yeah, a really disappointing race for me. I hope it will be better next time in Australia once again.
All right. Thank you. And
Right.
up next, Fanemy.
Hello.
A great performance from you, especially at the start there. You were fighting JT. Unfortunately, that rain call just didn't go the way you would have wanted it to, but still second. Your thoughts on the race?
It just goes to show that almost everything is going like not my way this season, and I'm basically speechless. Like I have nothing to say. Just was doing a good start. Managed to catch Joe after a mistake when I lost his slip in like the turn 4, the gravel, and after that I lost it a second time on the brake check in like turn 1, and from that point I just couldn't catch it. Then on the cut, I think I got back in the slipstream, but man, just couldn't quite get the job done. Then the raincoat was just here to just destroy me. Yeah, it's just boring to race when you know the result already. So I'm starting to wonder if I should even race. So yeah.
I see. Well, sorry to hear about that, but still congratulations on the P2 nonetheless. Next up, we got to interview some of the legends of this race. That being first off Jake Brad, big return from the man himself from Yorkshire, P15, amazing result. What would you say about your race today?
That was, I mean, personally for me, I thought that track was maybe not suited to the sort of tracks I used to quote unquote sell at, but it was a fun race. I kind of ended up in no man's land for a lot of it, near my teammate, and yeah, it was just nice to be back, I suppose. A lot cleaner than CL as well, which is nice to see.
Right. Thank you. And finally, I think out of the people we have in the VC, Albano, unfortunately, last today. I saw at some points, I think you were having some issues with Arbor. How'd your race go?
How do I say this without getting banned? I think that was probably the worst race I've ever done. This is probably one of my worst Sundays as well. I'm just struggling to think of positives from today. AL was
Well,
fun.
I can
commentating and
provide
hosting.
one. You did finish P17, so you are earning at least a point, which I would consider a
Oh,
positive.
whoop-de fucking do.
Trust
Finishing
me,
last.
better a point than none.
I can't. Yeah, I'm really struggling to think of positives. Like, fuck. Oh god. JL missed out on second because someone chose to do dry tires on a wet track and not brake. CL, my car got given to someone else, and ULM 6 seconds behind, second to last. It's not exactly been the ideal weekend, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Alright, thank you, and that will be all for today. For us, and next week, of course, back on another Corporate Home race back in Australia for the Australian Grand Prix instead of the Scarlavale Grand Prix. We will be at Darrow-Balton. I have no idea how to pronounce that properly. Too many syllables. Anyway, we'll see you then, and congratulations again to everyone, because everyone in this race did score points. So, good job, guys, and we'll see you next week.